Ladies and gentlemen, the American cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. A pollster, I forget his name, but I saw this story. A pollster is expressing concern that the uninformed electorate could be the ones that help decide the 2024 race. Well, guess what? We already know that is true because that uninformed electorate is going to come from the left, the other side. They don't, they're policies. However, I keep thinking about this. If you're a liberal kid, 18, 19 years old, and you live in a liberal state, aren't you upset about inflation? I don't know. Mitch McConnell. Now, this is an example of, even though Mitch and Trump have these issues, even Mitch McConnell says Harris-Walz win would be our country's worst nightmare. How come other Republicans can't be doing this? I got to give Mitch credit for that. Meanwhile, Harris declined. That Time magazine picture, can't make it up. She declined an interview with it. She knows. How crazy is that? You're vice president. By the way, you bragged that you were a big shot lawyer, attorney general, prosecutor. You bragged that you were a U.S. senator. You brag you're a vice president. You're running for president. And you know that you can't walk, talk, and chew gum at the same time. All right, Harris campaign has been busted altering headlines. With the help of Google, of course. Can't make it up. Pentagon employees accused of printing classified documents. Hanging, or her, whoever it is. Google execs are set to testify. Can't make it up. They are admitting the assassination searches were omitted. They're claiming that they didn't want to encourage it. BS. Google's unbelievable. Inflation rises 2.9% in July. And there were some people that were saying, well, it stabilized it. On top of what we already have, it goes up nearly 3%. And that's a good thing? I don't think so. A Harvard professor is saying the food prices are leaving him in a state of shock. Well, if it's leaving him in a state of shock, what do you think it's doing to Ma and Pa in Kansas City? All right, CNN Jake Tapper is going to have to go forward and give a deposition in line in a defamation lawsuit. Uh-oh. Joe Biden apparently is now full-blown estranged from Pelosi. This is going to be interesting as it all unfolds. Subway, Subway restaurant, got one right next door. Emergency meeting with the franchisees as sales plummet. Liberal cities and liberal states killed the restaurant business during COVID, and it hasn't come back. It's sad. It's sad. Trump, he says that he wants to leave the Affordable Care Act alone for now. We'll see what happens. Auto workers for Trump. Despite the auto workers brass endorsing Kamala Harris, if you're an automobile worker and you're hearing Trump talking about tariffs on China, if people forget this, remember all these auto plants were leaving the country and Trump stopped them from leaving the country. Why the hell would you be for Harris instead of Trump if you're an auto worker? Weekly cable ratings, Fox News is way ahead of the competition, and this is a blessing because despite Trump getting mad at him every once in a while, let's face it, other than Cavuto and some others, Fox News is the most watched news program, and the fact that they go after Harris maybe can help the cause. A Trump economic plan. He unleashed it in North Carolina, and it included tariffs. It included drill, baby, drill. You know the whole thing. And by the way, he focused on grocery costs. He made a great line that Kamala Harris doesn't even know what inflation is. And remember, Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote for that $3 trillion added to our economy. Trump is going to have a press conference, and where he'll, of course, hammer Harris's media availability. Trump's going to plan a bunch of rallies in the battleground states as Kamala goes to DNC. Are you going to watch this thing? I am not going to watch a moment of the DNC convention. My head would explode. Trump voted yesterday, early voting in Florida, trying to set a good example. Walz has agreed to a VP debate with JD on CBS. The Taliban yesterday celebrated 3 years in power, and they had a military parade with our military hardware. Yeah, another reason to vote for Harris, right? Waltz and Trump were both at Colorado fundraisers yesterday. Andrew McCarthy says to expect, he's a pundit, expects Trump to be sentenced to jail on September 18th. This is Freedom Fest, the big day, September 14th. This is pretty cool. You're going to have a debate on the 10th. Freedom Fest is the 14th, and the sentencing. So we're squeezed right in a lot of big stuff. Columbia University president resigned, finally, over the Hamas-Israeli anti-Semitic. And First Energy Corporation has settled up for $20 million, chump change, with the Attorney General in the state of Ohio. But nobody's going to go to jail. Nobody's going to go to jail. This is the Bulldog. Do not be a foul-reeking, earth-vexing hugger-mugger. Your Shakespeare insult of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, American cheer and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Local News. The Kentucky Attorney General, Russell Coleman, is recusing himself, his office, from any prosecution or addressing any issue with the addiction treatment company that the FBI is going after. We'll see what happens. And the Louisville mayor, there's a deputy mayor that's retired or quit or resigned, going to file a whistleblower lawsuit. I had a buddy of mine from Louisville today, told me that what the deputy mayor did was went to Africa for 3 weeks, claimed she was working, but they proved she didn't have any phone service or Wi-Fi or anything. You know, if you're black, you just play the black card no matter what you do or what happens. It's because of my race. It's the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.
Hello, Bulldog Nation. Jamie Spindley here with Eric Deters World News. Today's headlines. The Nigerian army has successfully dismantled 27 illegal oil refineries and confiscated approximately 100,000 litres of stolen crude oil in the Niger Delta. The military targeted 23 legit operations along the Imo River, a region notorious for criminal activity, highlighting ongoing efforts to curb oil theft in Nigeria. Hurricane Ernesto slammed into Puerto Rico yesterday, leaving nearly half the island homes and businesses without electricity. As the storm continues its path towards Bermuda, it is expected to intensify into a major hurricane, posing further threats in the region. In other news, Kassina Karlina, an amateur ballerina with dual American and Russian citizenship, has been sentenced to 12 years in a Russian prison for treason. This is unbelievable. Her crime was for a staggering $51 donation to a Ukrainian charity. 12 years for donating $51? Unbelievable. She was arrested during a visit to her family in Yekaterinburg. Karlina's case was handled in a closed-door trial where she pled guilty. Unbelievable. And in Kalota, tens of thousands marched in a Reclaim the Night protest following the brutal rape and murder of a 31-year-old trainee doctor. The demonstration, led by mostly women, demanded justice for the victim, whose death has ignited widespread outrage and protests throughout India. That's the latest headlines from the news desk. From the staff and I'll be back tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, American cheer and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Sports Without Boundaries. The Cincinnati Reds beat the Cardinals 9-3. Jonathan Indy had two home runs. I think Stevenson had 2 home runs. It's crazy.
Second place, baby.
Yep. Aaron Judge hit his career home run number 300. And guess what? It's the fastest player to ever get to 300. Cincinnati Bengals, Jeff Gunther has retired at defensive end. Cowboys have been valued at $10 billion, the most expensive sports franchise. Meanwhile, they haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years. Olympic medals are falling apart. I don't know if you all realize this, but apparently they don't put much gold, if any, in the gold, silver, and bronze medals, and I think that is sad. If you win an Olympic gold, it ought to be gold through and through. Same with silver and same with bronze. Don't you agree, Roger?
Yes.
All right. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope you have a wonderful day. Ladies and gentlemen, American cheer and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Eric Deters Pop Culture. Meghan made Harry cancel his 40th birthday bash that he was going to have over across the water with his buddies. I don't blame her. Why do you have to have a 40th birthday bash with debauchery? Applebee's are in trouble. They're closing just like Subway's. Sad, sad, sad. Mars is going to buy Cheez-It for $36 billion. I think that includes Pringles, a bunch of other brands. And Matthew Perry, there have been some arrests in the former Friends actor's death today. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.